Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Reynamations, and as you may see, I am a virtual avatar. Yes, I am a VTuber in this channel now. Uh, I haven't been a VTuber for very long. Well, I have, but I haven't. It's kind of complicated. I was a VTuber for something else, but now I'm a VTuber, and I hope that you guys enjoy this music right now. It is from the Fat Rat, as you can see, and I will be uh, drawing comics. Uh, this is from a comic series that I recently started like a couple months ago, and technically, it's kind of funny. I started this with my now fiance, uh, Morgan, and uh, it was really nice. We didn't have a name for it, and then little by little we started building up on it. We kind of like abandoned the project for a while and then came back to it. So I hope that you guys like it. I think that you guys should check it out. It is on tapas, and I know it sounds really weird, but I'll show you how it kind of looks. This website right here, tapas. Check out this comic, TurtleCorn. It is about a turtle and a unicorn and how they get along, and everything. It right now it's not doing so well because it's brand new, doesn't have a lot of things going on for it. Well, right, a lot of stories going on, but I'll go to the first one, which is called I Am Unicorn. Um, Short stories about a turtle and a unicorn. And then you can kind of see how the art style is. It's very simplistic, not too detailed. I don't want it to be too detailed because you got to keep in mind these are things that get drawn over and over and over. So the more detail and the more time you spend on it, the harder it's gonna be. Of course, this one's I like the first couple. I took my time, and I think I finished the first one within less than a day. But then the next couple are a little bit more complicated. Those took a lot longer. Uh, Hopefully you guys like this. Uh, I will be showing you guys the latest one that is going to be coming up because I am working on it. This is the second one, by the way. This one's called Food, and it is about the turtle that is hungry and everything. And I'll read it to you guys. Snooze, 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 snooze. And then, hey, what's up? No, hey, get up. But I'm tired. She imagines him as a tire. But there's food. Yay! Yeah, food. Huh? Where? In the refrigerator. You just gotta make it. I think that was like the funny punchline of it. I liked it because it didn't take too long to come up with, but at the same time, it's something that we all have experienced this at some point. Maybe it's just like your family members have told you, "Hey, get up, make yourself something to eat," and you think to yourself, "But I wanted it to be ready already." So that's kind of like the mindset. It's like there's food, but there's no food. Um, yeah, this is the logo. Uh, it's a work in progress. I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I thought of putting like little sparkles and stuff like that on it, but I'm like, nah, I'll just keep it simple. It's gonna be simplistic. I don't want it too complicated, so I kept it simple. Now the color, the gradient right here, it's not a gradient that I would normally use. I could be using the gradient this on the unicorn horn. As you can see, it starts off blue, then it goes purple and oranges and yellows and stuff like that, and greens. But here I kept it simple: blues, pinks, and yellows. Uh, to kind of give you like a feeling of magical. Uh, and in every episode, I have this right here: the logo, the name, and then the fact that it's a short story. And then this one is called Turkey Pete. I like this one. This one was a fun one to write. Uh, but I think I'm gonna let you guys find it for yourselves. Hopefully, you guys like it. Let me put some music on for you guys, uh, so it doesn't sound so boring. Uh, and Let me close that off. And then this is the latest one. As you can see, the art style becomes more and more detailed as it goes because of the fact that I'm dedicating more time into it. At work, obviously, and then after I come back from work, I sometimes will dedicate like an hour or two to do this. And sometimes, like recently, I've gotten into the habit of waking up really early and treating this like as a job. So I'll get up and then on a Saturday or Sunday, I would draw for a couple hours until I finish up the comic. This one is a 4-page one, and I'll show you guys kind of how it looks. This one's called Bad Hair Day. I did like the rough sketches, and then you can kind of see how I kind of like draw it on a piece of paper and draw it on the fastest template that I can, and then I model the template after it. Like this one was supposed to be 2 panels, but I cut it to just being 1, so now it's just 3 big panels right here. And then that's the ending. The funny thing about this one, you'll see it at the end. I should be live streaming this, but I am not live streaming it at the moment. I'll have to set up my settings for that. And then afterwards, if you guys like this, let me know. Leave a like down below. And let's get started. First things first, I want to add a sky to this, because right now it looks really nice, but with a blank sky, does not look so appealing. Just letting you guys know, only for certain scenes I will go all out to draw it. Like this was an establishing shot. For other scenes, like I would just draw them on a blank background, because it's not necessarily that I don't feel like going out of my way to add a lot of details. It's just unnecessary. It doesn't add to the story. This one, it's an establishing shot, so you can see that they're in a small cabin, and then or like a small house out in the forest, or not in the forest, out in the in nature. But it's not necessarily very bright or anything like that. And it feels like summer, but it's not. It's supposed to be cold around this time, but because the whole entire scene takes place inside it, it won't really matter to it. So let's first finish up this first one. Don't have anything drawn here. So far, I have a couple layers. You can probably see them right above me, right? I'm not sure if you can see is somewhere up there. Yeah, here. There's the color layer. There's the photo one. This photo one, I can show you guys real quickly how this panel looks. Let me hide all this stuff. And then I take this and then bring up the opacity. So that's how it originally looks. I just drew it with like a pen really quickly. Did like quick reactions. It don't matter. And then I bring down the opacity to below 50. So it's just enough that I could see it, but it's not too bothersome. And then I'll draw over it, like paint or draw. This one is I have a blank layer for some odd reason there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna bring this one below everything right here, and then I'm gonna add a sky. So this what I will go about doing. I would take this and make a gradient. Let me see. Sometimes it's easy to just grab a gradient and then call it a day. That doesn't look too bad. Actually, doesn't look bad. But you see how it paints everything else? So what I will have to do is make sure I isolate this area. And then do that. Same thing. I'm gonna do it like this. Maybe end it somewhere around here. And then I feel like it's just too dark or too bright. So sometimes what I will do is I'll press Control M. It will give me this one. I think this is like the most handy tool that I have. And then I just adjust it accordingly. Like I want it to look slightly brighter. Like that. It feels softer. And then do that. It does nicer blending. And I want the darker to look not too dark. Maybe make it brighter. And then this one I could get rid of it completely. Yeah, I like that. And then I could also check out certain values, like for example the red. Let's see if I can adjust that a little bit. Maybe not too bright. Yeah, I like that. And then let's go to the alpha. Does the alpha do anything? No. If it doesn't do anything, I can just press delete and then your hue. What does the hue do? The hue changes up the color completely. So here I could really experiment if I don't like certain colors. Like for example, let's say I want it to be more green. I could do that. I don't want it to be more green. I don't want it to be purple. I think this color right here does really well. Maybe just a little blue, this kind of blue. Yeah, I like that. And then I want there to be kind of like a slight hint of like the stars or something like that. Like you can kind of see stars. So what I'm gonna do is grab this brush right here and then click here and voila, just like that. Do a little bit more. It's a magical world. Why not have stars? And then just like that, the piece looks way better. I remember hearing something. If you ever want to have a place feel magical, you gotta just put like little particles here and there. I forget from who it was. I know it was like this YouTuber that did like video games, and I really like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna add particles around here on the trees area. So I go to the ink, and then scale this up, and then just like that. Maybe add some right there. And just like that, it already feels a little bit more magical. Maybe add some bright yellows. Oh, I like that. It feels busy, but at the same time, it looks really nice. Like someone will look at this and go like, yeah, they definitely put their fair share of time onto this. And what I want to do is, I like the grass right here. I could change it up, but you know what? I'm going to keep it as is. I don't like this part right here too much. So I'm going to take this brush right here and make sure you get your stylus. I know you guys can't see it, but I got a stylus. Then I take this color and then, is it in the same? Yeah, it's here. I'm gonna add it like that. By doing something like this, they kind of like add texture to the grass. And what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of blue, bluish white around here. to separate that, and then probably this. Maybe a little bit of yellow. It's called atmospheric perspective right there. You do that, and then it makes things feel like they're separated. They don't feel too attached. So okay, now that not that mountain feels more in the distance. Same thing with this one. I'm gonna take this and just add a little bit of that onto it. Now, if you notice, these mountains don't look that bad, but the trick is technically, if you've ever seen one of those Bob Ross drawings videos, it's the same thing. You just take a bright area like this, and then just add a dark area right next to it. And then you got a sharp corner. And you could do that the same thing for like in the middle. Like let's say that I want this same thing to happen somewhere here. I could add a little bump right there. Take that, right? Add it like that. And just like that, that mountain looks like it has like a little spot that kind of like does that. Maybe add a little bit of a shadow there. And the more details you have like that, the better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color right here, and then I'm going to add a little bit of sparkles right here. Maybe scale it down or something. Because mountains have texture. Now these are details that most likely are not going to be seen. But since I'm the artist, I'll see it. So it's things that I appreciate down the line. Same thing with like this water. You see is how it has like texture and everything like that. Sometimes what I would like to do is I will take something like this. I like a bright color and then just pass it over. I make sure to grab like a texture brush. Now this water feels a little bit more magical. So there's a lot of color picking to make sure it blends in. I don't like how that came out right there. So I'll probably get rid of that. Go back a couple times, keep it like that. I think I should make this house a little bit bigger. So luckily I separated it. You see how I separated it? So now what I could do is, I feel like I got my mouse on the other screen, but I don't. I can deselect everything and then just scale this house. And press shift and then scale it like that. And just like that, it looks better. But it hides the mountain in the background. And I don't want that. So I want to put the house a little bit back. So it's not too eye-catching. Now, as you may have noticed, it's supposed to stay within the frame. I like to have things within the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the mask. This is a trick that I learned recently. And I clicked on this. It selects everything within the mask. Like, oh, that's what it was. Here, I bring down the feathering to 0. And then it selects everything. And basically what it's doing, since the way the mask works, is it has a dark outline and then white in the middle, right? And the white area is where you can draw on. So I'm going to select just the white area of this. Press Control. No, I select all those ones too, so I don't delete them. Control Shift I. Although I didn't really need to do that. Go into the paint. for Alright, so mask like this, and then press that, Control Shift I, and then press delete. And then go into the ink, same thing. And then the house, same thing. And just like that, you see how it has like this little light line right there. It separates essentially the sketches from everything, and I can hide this at the end, and it looks like that. So let's get down to the drawing of the next frames. This one is mooring in the character, going here and then reacting because she sees herself in the mirror. So I'm gonna draw quickly a mirror. For that, I could take this box select tool like that, and then go onto color, and I'm gonna probably fill this up with just one solid fill like that, and then click a bright color like this, and then that's gonna be the outline for everything. Although I could have done this thing where well, now you know the technique that I'm gonna be using for filling in the blank, but I'll bring this down, and you may see some colors here. These are the turtles colors, this the unicorns, and then this one is for Turkey Pete. And every character in this show, I'm gonna have all their colors set up like that. So I'm gonna go for the black because that's like a very common color that I'm gonna be using. Make sure that I'm in pen mode, and make sure that I'm not selecting stuff. And now I could just kind of zoom in. You don't have to zoom in like this, but I like to zoom in so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And then I just draw over this. Like maybe she has like a big reaction, like, ah. And here's where I will draw everything. That's the mouth. That's the cheeks. It doesn't have to be accurate, but I like to be as accurate as possible. I always thought to myself that sometimes I get hair and it looks or not hair, but like I do the drawing and it comes out really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I usually count the stripes that I do on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then that totals it out. Because our hair's gonna be all over the place in the first couple frames, I want to make sure that it looks like that. So this gives me like liberty to kind of like just like draw randomly like that. And this character wears glasses. And since she's a unicorn, I gotta make sure to add the body, like so. And then mirror, since this is the reflection, it has to get limited to a certain extent. So I'm gonna do some straight lines. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Let's have this be like a double-sided mirror. This is where I add a lot of details. Just as a reminder to anyone that watches my videos, keep in mind that not everything's gonna make sense in the show or in the comic or anything like that, or any of my future work sometimes. But that's the thing about art, it doesn't always have to make sense. Cartoons don't make sense sometimes. I feel like this one should be attached to this one right here, not that. Yeah. And then here, add another one. Kind of like if I had two handles. Voila. And just like that, it has two handles. And then for the horn, I erase this part. And I want to draw her face right here. So this will be her cheek. See, so I realized that I drew all this for no reason right here. After dedicating some time to it, I drew over it. Which happens a lot when it comes to artwork. Not everything's gonna be there. Some of the hard work that you put into something, you're just gonna draw over. Sometimes what I like to do is actually add like a little line. Like that. And then this, I feel like I should be a little bit further back. Maybe here's where the glasses are. Now the glasses, I like to draw them really quickly like that sometimes. But depending on how close they are, you know, they might require more detail. I like how that one looks. So I move on to the next one. And then it's just her looking at, like, the first reaction was like this. The next one, I think, is just gonna be her kind of like. Now, keep in mind, I don't have to follow the little sketch I did. Sometimes I kind of just draw over it, like I just did right now. Depending on what I wanted to get across, I do that. What next? Already. Alright. Even her nostrils are angry. Glasses. This character is not one that usually gets mad at things. So it's an interesting thing to like kind of see me draw for the first time. This character getting mad at something, and it's her looks. Because she's not happy that she has a bad hairdo. Now in this frame, I know she says something. I then, so it's going to be that kind of thing. So usually for the ones that have text, I would normally type it down, but lately I've been going into this thing where I would go. Well, I would. I can't speak all of a sudden. Let me move the mic around. I've been going into this thing where lately I've been. Let me bring the volume down so you guys can't hear it through here. That's weird. Odd. So lately I've been doing this thing where I'll be writing the text. I was just making sure that the music was coming through for you guys. I hope it comes through at the end. So I'll write it down like so. It's going to be that kind of day. for here, I would do a text bubble. Now this could have been a thought that she had, but I keep it like that. And then here is gonna be the mirror, so maybe I'll put like a line right here to indicate that that's the mirror that she's looking herself in. I feel like that mirror went up way too high, but again, the mirror is above her, so maybe I could just do like a quick line like this, and like this, and then like that. That'll be the mirror. Hey, it kind of matches this line right here. So when something like this happens, what I will do is I will do like a distinguishing line. So I'll put that line right here. So now it makes for sure that you won't think that this and this is the same thing. And now I can go into the next one. And this one is her grabbing a hairbrush. And right next to the hairbrush is a blower. And the blower is connected, plugged in. And then right here is the mirror. So let's do that. Let's add like the horn right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't have to be 7 for all of them. I like to do 7 if you can see the whole entire horn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, like this one, what I could do is I could erase this one right here and then add the line right here, and then that way I'm cutting off after the horn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's fine like that. And now the horn is behind the text bubble. Same thing with this. And then I add her hair is messy. When hair is messy like this, I could just take free liberty to like draw her however I want to some degree. No, I don't like how this is because it's supposed to be like this, like that, and then like that. Now there's gonna be teeth. I saw the music video for this song. It's not that bad. I like it. Now her hair is usually not this messy, but as you can see, I'm taking free liberty to do whatever I want. Now for here, usually below the neck, I'll do this thing where I would do like a shadow, like that, to make sure it distinguishes that character, and then gives the character a little bit more of three-dimensionality. Here it is. Add right here. But this, like half of this, like all of the things that are gonna be inside this frame right here, are gonna be shaded slightly different. So you can kind of see the color, but it's a reflection, so it won't look exactly the same. And then back in the days when I first, when me and Maureen came up with these characters, it's funny. Well, technically she came up with them, but it's interesting. She came up with them based upon the emojis of the unicorn and the turtle, right? And then she made a little comic. I'll show you guys. Actually, I could probably show you guys pretty soon. Let me see if I could grab like the comics so you guys could kind of see how it all got started. You know what? I'm gonna have a separate video introducing this comic to you guys, where it goes more in depth how I got started and everything like that. It's like a behind the scenes of the getting started. And I'll probably have Morgan, my fiance, with me, but she was a contributing factor to this. Obviously, I feel like this leg feels weird. Yeah, it just feels weird. Maybe I should just draw it instead of so muscly, cartoonish, like I used to do. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And I'll probably do like this shadow right here. And probably make the hoof a little bit bigger. That. For a hairbrush, you just gotta do like bristles, like this. You don't have to be specific. You can kind of tell it's a hairbrush. Not fully, but I say you could tell. Have you guys ever seen the artwork for the Fat Rat music videos? I like them. I heard that every song is like part of a story, but I never actually gone in depth with it, so I wouldn't know. I feel like this brush should be on a stand or something. And then here should be the blower. The hair blower looks more like a gun or some kind, a weapon of some kind. So it looks like that. And have it be kind of like the ones at my house. Just like have little switches. And then the cable. Kind of like the phone cord on the last episode for this. By the way, you guys should definitely check out this comic. The last episode was called Cold Call. As you may guess by the title, it has to do with being called in the cold. Now it is up to you guys to figure out who's getting called. Da da da. Who's out in the cold? Kind of like if it was on the desk. Now, for frames like this, as you can see, I have one very colorful and the other ones are not so much. Now that I've done all the drawing, I could get rid of this. For frames like this, I would do some coloring, but I'll leave a decent amount of it blank. I like white, because I don't necessarily need it to be like that, very detailed. I add some hairs that are kind of like strangling off. Because, you know, when you have a bad hair day, it's not just like a bunch. Like, it bunched up. It's like everywhere. You got like little strands that are like going in different directions. Some that are like on your face. Sometimes. So I'm thinking for this area, I'll have it be like kind of like that. And have some hairs. Not like that. Have some hairs like that. And that takes care of that bunch. So now she looks at herself in the mirror. She's not satisfied with it. So she reaches out for the tools. Does she say anything? No, she does not. I like to look back at the sketches to see if the character had said something. Oh well. I erased some of the off. And just to distinguish this, from that, I give it space. And it's all connected. So you can see she freaks out. Maybe I should have more hair back here. I like to make sure that it stands out. For the messy hair, it doesn't have to be accurate with the lines, obviously, but I do like to, you know, have some areas where, you know, you can tell that it's supposed to be there. Alright, so that takes care of this drawings for the first page. Now we got other pages to take care of. So it's the same kind of concept. I'm gonna show you guys the way that I go about approaching one of the colorings for the first page and stuff. For example, I'll color this one, and then the same thing will apply to literally everything else for the same for the next couple of pages. if you guys ever want to get started, I recommend getting like a little sketch, like a little notebook. Let me see if I can find one online for you guys to see. Sketchpad. Is that it? And just no. Usually the sketch pads will look like this, but the one I'm thinking about, it has to have like lines on them. So lined. I don't know. Alright, so yeah, something like that. Like if you get like a regular sketchbook, or not like a sketchbook, but like a regular book, notebook. Yeah, notebook. That's what I mean. So you get like a little notebook. Could be something that looks like that, and then, or like this. This is kind of like what I have right now. I'll get something like that, or even if you want, you could technically take paper like this, print it out, and then just draw over that. Now the reason why that is because your mind, or just not just your mind, at least I've noticed this for me, and I noticed this for other people. It is harder to draw on a blank piece of paper compared to textured paper, or paper that has already something in it, because you already see patterns and stuff like that, or you see little dots, so your mind gets already created. It's kind of like this. The idea is like, if you ever want to draw something, this is what I would use personally. Not for everything. Like for really professional stuff, I'll probably draw on like a regular sketch pad or something that doesn't have lines. But for the comics, this is perfect. And the reason why that is let me just grab like a template of something. Excuse me. Let's say I take this, right? And then I'm gonna take this and then bring it onto I move this program a little bit to the side, and then take this and then drop it off right there. Insert this new layer. Bring this back. Alright, so let's say that I grab this, right? And this sketch pad, I'm gonna take it off of all the layers, right? So I'm gonna erase that. You can also do this too, just letting you guys know. You could do it on like a piece of paper. Alright, so let's say that this is your area of drawing, right? You're gonna take your little pencil, and then for the sake of making it look like a pencil, I'm turning down the opacity of my regular brush, so it kind of looks. Or I draw with this brush right here. Turn down the opacity. So that's kind of like how the regular pencil will look like. I know there's a setting for. What was it? Is it this? No, it wasn't this. It was a way to like change your opacity based upon. Yeah, I'm gonna use this pencil right here. Right. So it feels more like a pencil. So what I will go about doing is like, let's pretend that the paper is about this size. I would think about a scene. Let's say that we have the character is a penguin and he wants to learn how to fly. So he jumps off of a cliff and thinks about flying, and then when he hits the ground, he wakes up and then realizes it was a lucid dream. but in his dream he did float for like a brief moment. So let's quickly draw that. First things first, I will go about drawing like the frames. I want a frame like this, right? And then I will draw a penguin. Let's say the penguin is about like that, and then fins right here. Doesn't have to be accurate. Maybe your beak right here. And then he'll say, today is the day. Today is the day. So it doesn't have to be accurate. Let me zoom in so I can kind of like draw without it feeling like I'm drawing so tiny. And then here it will be kind of like you will look at the penguin from behind, or maybe you won't see him like that. You'll see him like really tiny, right? He has his fins up like that. And then I want his tail like right here. I don't know. And then this is the side of a cliff. And just to be an establishing shot, I'll draw like a little ice cube in the distance and water. And then water as far as the eye can see, right? And then I will go on to the next shot. And then this one will be an establishing shot. It doesn't have to be very big. It could be like something like that. Put an arrow pointing at him with his fins out like that. And then the water right here. And then it's kind of like mine breaks off over there, and then maybe there's some things up in the distance, something like that, you know, because there has to be a way for that penguin to have climbed up. Maybe it was through some path over here, right? And then here I'm thinking he'll say, I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly. Now the lines are useful because you could technically have them align with the lines. Like I kind of did it right here, but I didn't necessarily did it perfect. And then here it's like a very confident penguin. You can kind of see his face. It'll be like this is his face. It doesn't have to be accurate, like maybe just for some character he has like a couple hairs like right now, like that, and just to make sure that it's consistent. And then in this shot it could be a copy of this frame right here, just with him throwing himself off. Or it could be a close up of the side of the hill, which I'm trying thinking it could be like a close up, and then it'll be like and then little hairs right there. And then some action lines right here. Maybe I'll have the penguin be a little bit lower and stretched out like that. and then he jumped. You can see him, and then here he is flying. It doesn't have to be accurate. Maybe I'll take this and I'll put I'm flying. And then he hits a wall, or he hits the water, splash. Flat. Only for him to wake up at the end. Well, like, huh. With his mouth open like that. Like, ah! And then, see, now that this seems like a lot to put in one page, but you can definitely pull it off. And then what I would do is the next page, it could be him realizing it was just a dream. So it'll be two big ones right here, and then you could get creative with the other ones. One busy page, one not so busy page. You know, that small, medium, large. Maybe I'll have like a small panel right here. You know, you can get creative with the panels. So here, he'll wake up, realize it was just a dream, like that. What? Question mark? Maybe his eyes are closed, like. It was just a dream. Again. Meaning that this penguin has had dreams of flying for quite a while. Kind of like that penguin in Happy Feet too. And that's the punchline. It doesn't have to be always like a funny gag thing. So this is how I would go about doing it. And obviously afterwards you can always take certain frames. Like for example, let's say I didn't want to have this one. I didn't like how this one looked. I could scale it and then bring it like that. And then make it like that. And then press this. And then just like that, you already have a comic And this one, I'm thinking I can make it bigger. Maybe make it wider. And then that takes care of that, right? So just like that, you have a comic where it starts off kind of simple, and then it goes, gets more complicated. Just for the sake of seeing this, I could bring up the opacity, but I drew it really quickly with this brush. And I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Since it's been like an hour, you guys only saw part of the progress. I do sketches like this on my sketch on the sketch pad, and then afterwards I will kind of like scan them in to the program, and after I scan them in, it will end up looking something like that, but without what's it called, the mask. It will look like this. And then afterwards I'll put the mask over it, so you can see just by putting the mask over it, it kind of gets rid of some of the lines, and it makes some the sketches kind of stand out with the blue. Gets rid of it completely, or not completely, but it kind of like fades it out, you see, from here to here, compared to like with it without. So I'll do that, and then I will draw over it, kind of like you saw me do for, what's it called, the page 1. For this, not this page. For this one. What the heck? For this one. What is this? Alright. So for this page, I will draw over it like you saw me here do, and then afterwards I will go and then take this brush right here, and then I have my own specifically comic ones that I use. This one's I do for the line art. This one I do for sketches. Although I should use the other one that I was just using for sketches. So I'll probably do that. Bring that over. What I would do is I'll click on it, and then assign tag, and then comic creating, and then comic creating, and then it's right there. So now what I will do is go here, go onto the paint layer, which page 1, color, and then I'll pick the colors. Like for example, the nose is actually this lighter purple, and then I would just go about coloring it. It could be messy, and then the hair is the same thing. It seems like I'm getting a call from my mom, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for joining me for this video, and that is it. Goodbye. I think it was this one. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, consider subscribing or leaving a like. And check out those videos if you enjoyed and stood until the end. Thank you and goodbye.